What's thought to have started as rabid animal bite has led to a quarantine of
Reports
the
from
entire
the
town.
scene describe what can only be called
There
monsters.
have been unconfirmed reports of dozens of disturbed graves.
The government is advising everyone to stay inside and lock their doors.
Live from WTCH Studios, this is your favorite witch, Jennifer Ann Scott, with a Raven's Eye View. Featuring the odd, the spooky, and the strange. These stories are currently in the news for September 15th, 2023. On September 5th, a human skull, that's right, a real human skull, was discovered in a donation drop-off box at the Goodwill in Goodyear, Arizona. Why someone dropped it off and why they had it to begin with remains a mystery. Police did say it was, quote, a historic skull, meaning there is no current forensic evidence tying it to a crime. However, it has been shipped to the medical examiner for more testing, and the investigation is ongoing. Though the Goodwill employees stressed the item never made it to the sales floor, next time you consider buying secondhand Halloween decorations, I might think twice, especially if they look a little too convincing. In other news, the largest meeting of monster hunters in decades recently took over the Scottish Highlands in the search for the ever-elusive Loch Ness Monster. Hundreds of would-be Nessie witnesses gathered on the last week of August to prove the creature's existence, using the latest technology. Several groups have since released their findings, with many claiming to have in fact captured images, varying from something with humps disappearing into the water to a large shadow below the surface. The weather proved a huge hindrance, and the concrete proof many were hoping for never materialized. But that did nothing to dissuade those who say Nessie is there. Whether or not the Loch Ness Monster lives in those murky waters may be hotly debated, but the truth is, she is alive and well in the hearts and minds of those that attended. In something straight out of a sci-fi movie, scientists have found a mysterious golden orb on the ocean floor. In fact, the scientists are puzzled by the discovery made deep underwater off the coast of Alaska. The bizarre object, which is about 4 inches in diameter and has a tannish gold color, is smooth with a skin-like texture, with an unexplained hole in the center of it. Using a gentle suction attachment on a remotely operated arm, they carefully extracted the mysterious object from the sea floor and brought it to the surface for further study. Even upon closer examination, however, they still couldn't identify it beyond the fact that it is biological in origin, says Sam Candio, the expedition's coordinator. The plan is to get it into an on-land lab with more sophisticated equipment. Meanwhile, team members offered theories about the identity of the object, including an egg casing or a sponge. They suggested that the hole was created by a creature hatching or by a predator breaking in. I just hope when we poke it, something doesn't decide to come out. It's like the beginning of a horror movie, one scientist said. Yes, my friends, that is exactly how a horror movie begins. And those never end well for anyone involved, especially the scientists. And in parting, I leave you with this week's unusual haunting. Walmart. Yes, the name alone evokes fear in some. But this story is enough to make even the most loyal shopper forget all about those rollback prices. This tale starts over 120 years ago in Galveston, Texas, where this particular stretch of land was once occupied by St. Mary Orphan Asylum, operated by the Sisters of Charity of the Incarnate Word. It's already creepy, right? On September 8th, 1900, a catastrophic hurricane hit and tragically destroyed the orphanage, with 10 nuns and at least 90 children perishing in the storm, despite the nuns' heroic efforts to save the children by tying them to their own bodies with clotheslines. The only 3 survivors were found washed out to sea floating on a tree, having somehow managed to free themselves from the clothesline. Now fast forward to 1994, when the lone Walmart on Galveston Island was built on this very spot. Not sure? Who thought that was a good idea? So, are you surprised it's haunted? Because I most definitely am not. Employees from grocery stockers to store managers have reported hearing disembodied children's voices, both laughing and crying. They've witnessed cash registers going haywire, automatic doors opening and closing on their own, and items out of place both in the store offices and on the shelves. One often reported occurrence is hearing a little girl crying out for her mother. Others say the electronic toys turn off and on, and people regularly hear a ball being bounced down the aisles, and no ball is ever found. Just another reason to stick to online shopping. Until next time, this is Jennifer Ann Scott with a Raven's Eye View.